Good morning, everybody. Y'all glad to be here? Well, I'm glad to be here too. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I'm going to put my microphone on, see if I can get this done in a short period of time. Are y'all still there? Can you hear me? Okay, so today we're going to talk about decisions that are made and making decisions. Are y'all still listening? Can y'all just get a Lord a hand clap of praise so I know you're there? Oh, have mercy. Don't be alerted. It ain't going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. Amen? Decisions made and making decisions. When we make decisions, we should consider decisions that are already made. Are y'all still there? Because some decisions cannot be overturned. God tells us as long as the earth remaineth, there will be day and night, seed time and harvest. Now, it's foolish for Tony to go out there and plant in the fall. When God done said he have to remember that there's going to be seed time and harvest. Okay? Nobody harvests in the spring. You plant in the spring. That's when everything is coming alive. But Tony go out there and plant in the fall when everything is being harvested. Well, he's just out of season. Are y'all still there? So God tells us as long as the earth remains, there will be day and night, seed time and harvest. He tells us certain things like, if you're going to have a family, it starts with a man and a woman, not with a person of the same sex. He tells us if you want to reap, you must sow. Are y'all listening? These are decisions that have already been made. God tells us, he tells us that if you want a friend, you must first show yourself to be friendly. Are y'all still here? So why do the Supreme Court need to make decisions on things that have already been decided, like abortion? God started at the beginning of the Bible and tell all women in pain and sorrow and travail. Did God know people were going to be raped? Yes, you look in the law, he'll tell you how to deal with rape. And abortion ain't in there. Oh, help me somebody. I know you don't want to believe this. When y'all decide that if God made you a male and you're going to be a female, you're trying to undo something that has already been decided. That sun don't change direction because we sit here and stare at it. Tony said, I want the sun to face my house in the morning time. He go build a house facing north. That sun ain't going to turn around and go north because Tony's stupid. It's not going to rise in the north and set in the south. It's going to rise in the east and set in the west like it has been since the beginning of time because God commanded it. Certain decisions cannot be overturned. It's already been decided. Are y'all still listening? God tell you if you truly want to live, it's not by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of his mouth. That's decided. There's no other way to live. Are y'all listening? Now here's one that even the church is not ready for. Righteousness has been decided. The Bible declares in Romans 10:3, for they being ignorant of God's righteousness, you go about and establish your own righteousness and have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God. For Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. That's been decided. See, I don't believe in Jesus Christ. I ain't no Christian. You stupid. You're not going to change what's already been decided. Are you listening? Y'all can put all these other labels on you that you want to. You can be a black Hebrew this and a white nationalist that and y'all just keep going black and white. And neither one of you guys are right. And I think that's the problem with the world right now. Everybody just going about to establish their own righteousness. And they have not submitted themselves to the righteousness of God, which has already been decided. It's in Jesus Christ. We make decisions every day unconsciously without giving them any thought. You set that alarm clock at night, it go off in the morning, has time to go to work. You don't have to. See, but you already made up your mind that you're going to go to work when that clock go off. You decided that even before the clock went off. But if that clock go off, you should say, let me see if I want to go to work today. It don't mean you automatically get up and go to work. You decide to get up and go to work. Because you know why? You know that decisions we make have consequences. Are y'all still there? Are you listening? So our decisions are not just based on what we think. They're also based on what you know. So what do you know if you don't get up and go to work? Well, you know that if you don't get up and go to work, the rent, utilities, the car note, along with a bunch of other things, grocery, insurance, they will not be paid. Consequences. You'll find yourself, you'll be without a dwelling place. Are y'all still here? And at this point, if you have nowhere to live, you don't need light, water, and gas. You'll lose your car. And you'll find yourself now, you're in the street. You're without transportation now, so you're in the street. The end results are you will be homeless, living in the streets. Those are the consequences of deciding not to go to work. And that's why you get up and go to work. Are y'all still there? Are you listening? So there are also consequences when we make a decision, and our decisions are not based on any wisdom of God. Most of the time, the end of that decision is not going to be what we expected. And this is what the consequences look like. Are y'all still there? There are consequences when you make a decision not to obey God. Just like there are consequences if you make a decision not to go to work. Are y'all still listening? Man, in America, we allow corporations and organizations to tell us what we must do and how to live. And it's ironic because people are all over the world are alive without having all these things they say we have to have. You got people living without electricity. You got people living without cars, without flat screen TVs. You got people living without drugs, marijuana, crack. You got people living without all these things. And over here, it just seems like you got to have it to live. Are y'all still listening? The wisest and wealthiest man ever to live before Jesus Christ, he sought out the meaning of life. His name was Solomon. And his conclusion was that all we have in this life is to eat, drink, and be happy. He said, that's all you got. I know y'all think there's so much more to it, but that's all you have. And as far as what you should do, well, Pastor Big, what should I do? Well, Solomon told you that too. Listen, he said, if you go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, he tell you right there, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandment, for this is the whole duty of man. So I just told you what you have and what you should be doing. Can you go out and play basketball? Yeah, man, you can go out and play basketball. You can do all the other things you want to do, but trust me. People who are living all over the globe, they understand that. It comes from the wisest person who ever lived. And as far as not having, what Solomon had, you know, you all think that you don't have anything because you ain't got a big house and a big car. This man had a castle. And as far as power, well, he was the king. He was also the government. He sit in the judgment seat. You know, y'all want to be all this. Now, he had all that. He called it vanity. Why would that man call all that vanity? Listen, as far as y'all who love to chase women, he had 600 wives, 600 concubines, and 300 wives. For y'all men, for y'all who just love to go out there and look at them YouTube video with these rappers on there with all these honeys bouncing behind them. Solomon had that long before these jokers come along. And what did he call it? Vanity. As far as wealth go, he was the wealthiest king to ever live. So when y'all go out there looking at all these people, oh, he a billionaire. Man, Solomon had that 10 times over. He called that vanity too. Now, why would the wisest man in the world had everything y'all chase after, call it all vanity? One, he know you ain't going to take it where you're going. Are y'all listening? Did he take anything out of the world? No. So why put your heart in it? The saddest thing I'm witnessing today is people who are killing over senseless things. Like this little girl was kicking a ball around in the news. They say this little girl was kicking a ball around and kicked it in the neighbor's yard and he shot the girl. A young man go to the wrong house looking for his siblings and the guy open the door and shoots the kid. A man in Texas just Saturday, was it night before last, or last night, just, over there, 11 p.m., shooting his AR-15. And the man said, can you please stop doing that with the babies trying? He went in the house and killed 5 people. Shot him execution style in the head. Now he's out there on the lam. What's wrong with you people? You all don't own this world. You don't own this land. The reason you ain't taking nothing out of this world is because you didn't bring nothing in it. But man, we're so possessive of these things to the point to where you'll kill somebody for just crossing your property line. A child don't know what a property line is. And these people are that crazy now. Oh, help me, Holy Ghost. I knew y'all weren't going to like this today, but I got to talk about it anyway. Don't step on my grass. Can you please stay out my yard? And when you leave that yard gonna be in, people gonna be walking all over it anyway. There are consequences when we make a decision, and our decisions are not based on the wisdom of God. Like I said, most of the time, it's going to end in something you did not expect because you did not consider the wisdom of God. Certain things have already been decided. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. You know why people fighting over this dirt? You can't do nothing but bury yourself with it. That's all you can do. Are y'all listening? I don't know why we having this issue of LGBT. I don't care how many alphabets y'all add to it. QAI, you can add VTS and all the rest of them to it. Male and female. That's already been decided. When you came, before you were ever thought of, that decision was made. Are you listening? So y'all can just keep coming up with alphabets all you want to. It ain't going to change things. It's just common sense. Don't be so educated you're stupid. Some things cannot be changed. I know some of y'all going out here putting all this chemical in your hair because you're trying to change your hair. Yeah, you're injecting this and liposuction and that and all that, and guess what? And give it some time and you're going right back to the way you used to look. Just give it some time. And then the ones who can't go back to the way they look like monsters. You were supposed to age gracefully, not be a terror. Are y'all still listening? But that's what happens when we allow corporations and organizations and doctors and scientists and everybody else tell us how we're supposed to live. The wisest man in the Bible said you ain't got but 3 things in this life: eat, drink, and be happy. Now, if you can't eat, that's a problem. You don't have no Kool-Aid, and I'm not talking about whiskey. When the Bible said drink, it's talking about water. Don't get it to that. After I say eat, drink, I'm not talking about what you call drink. Okay? Kool-Aid, water, soda pop. Not Jim Beam and Jack. You got that to go with your meal? And you happy? Now, if you sitting there looking at the wife and y'all eating, are you mad? Well, you might want to fix that last part. You didn't say eat, drink, and be mad. You got folks that just can't live together because they just angry. And you got all you could possibly need, but you're not content. And you go on fighting over something you think you deserve when you have everything you need. You have food, You have something to drink, and you should be happy because you have somebody to dwell with. But you got people who just ain't satisfied. I'm working on my PhD because I can get paid so much more, and when you get more, you buy yourself with it. Because ain't nobody smart enough to be with you. So why you broke up with this guy? I got my doctorate degree, and he just wasn't going where I'm going. And where you going? Where are you going? The hell? Well, I don't blame him. I wouldn't go there with you. That's wise of him. I know we've lost sight of things that are common sense. It's like we can't use common sense anymore. Somebody go on TikTok and pour gasoline all over themselves and flip on a match, and y'all think that's a challenge. And you go burn your dumb ass up because you too stupid to know that that's crazy. I done see y'all pouring ice water on y'all head, lighting y'allself on fire and everything else because these idiots on some social media channel do it. And then they want the government to take it away from y'all because y'all too crazy to stop doing it. Decisions. When I look at society today and see all that we're doing, trying to define what life is, y'all running over each other with cars. You're putting tattoos on yourself on Facebook, just gyrating. And that's all you think life is about? You just on Facebook just parading all the stuff you got. And then when I hear you talk, it's like you don't have half a brain. Oh, well, I know this wasn't going to go well today, but I got to tell you anyway. And that's what y'all think life is all about. And some of y'all have had problems. You go on Facebook and tell all your friends, my boyfriend did this, my boyfriend did that, and this is why I threw him out the house last night. But you didn't tell people what you did. I know. And all your friends agree with you. You got 1,000 likes because you handled that just right. They all like what you did. And months later, you up there in a state of depression. You ain't got nobody to talk to. You have nobody to interact with. And then y'all go by these little poodle dogs instead of screaming at the dog. Wait, I told you to come here, and you look foolish. That dog don't understand you. And then you can see the dog looking at y'all like you crazy. He don't know what to do. You can't replace a human being with a dog, cat. I want to talk to y'all about the decisions that are already made and the decisions that we make. Now, the Bible says in Psalms, this is our thesis scripture, Psalms 37:23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Now, the Bible's not talking about physical steps here. What it's trying to tell you and I, that if you truly are a good person, your decisions, okay, that's what steps here mean. Your decisions, if you truly are a good man, your decision would be ordered by the Lord. And he delighteth in your way. When you think good, God will come to you. He'll give you an answer for a situation before it even occurs. And you will know just how to respond to that. This is what the Bible is trying to tell you. We all have to deal with issues in life. But God go before you in that issue. If you pick up your Bible every day, God going to go before you. He's going to say, listen, I want you to understand this because I see what's coming tomorrow. You're going to be faced with this issue. But let me counsel you so you will know how to respond to that. And sometimes you shouldn't do nothing at all. The Bible tells you it said don't answer a fool in his folly. Some things you don't even need to answer. The stage is set. They want to make you look just as foolish as they are. Are y'all listening? Yes. And the Holy Spirit will counsel you to that effect. He said, don't even answer that. Don't even respond to that foolishness. Are y'all listening? Yes. About the big what you think about women preachers. And I Lord help me. I said, have you ever read the story of Balaam and his ass? What you talking about? And then you wouldn't know why I'm responding the way I am. If God has to use a jackass to save you, he will. The Bible said a dumb ass speaking with a man's voice. Anything with voice in it can preach to you. If it truly has Jesus Christ in it. What difference does it make if it's male or female? It's the message that they're preaching. Now, let me go and clean this up a bit, because I don't want to give y'all a license to think that every female is out there preaching Christ. Now, if you look at some of these female pastors and all this here up here showing with tattoos all over it, I ain't got to tell you what that's about. Are you listening? They dress seductively, telling you to come as you are. Yeah, right. I'm not with all that. I'm not with all that. Are y'all still here? You got to be able to discern between when something is good and bad, good and evil. Evil parades itself too. When I think about certain things, and I think about this one, and I'm not going to name this beer company because I don't. But anyway, this one beer company put a transgender, a little girl or boy, I don't know what you call them. You call them a boy, they'll say they're not a boy, they're a girl. They put this transgender person on their beer can. Only they didn't realize who had been drinking that beer. And now they're dumping it all over the country. It's the same beer. It's just the image associated with it now. Image is everything. And then they come back and thought they'd fix it, and then they took his image off and made a rainbow can. That's one of my Venn circle things, That's somebody's answer for everything, Venn circles. Are y'all listening? Oh, I done lost some folks, God. And I think the Bible trying to tell you that if you're trying to do good, God will give you the right mindset before that situation or issue ever come up. Because you are truly trying to live a good life. Do I have kids walk on my lawn? Yes. Instead of shooting them, you know what I say? Come over here. And I sit down and say, what is your name? Jimmy, what is your name? Ray, what is your name? As I thought if y'all were going to be on my lawn and walk all over my property, I should know who you are. I said, you know what, next time, y'all can just play in my driveway. You don't have to go out there on the grass. As I'm trying to keep the grass, and I explained to him why. I said, let me tell you why you can't walk on that grass and do that. That's because if you kill the grass, the soil washes away. But if y'all playing basketball, you can play in the driveway. You're not going to hurt the driveway. You explain to kids, they truly understand. You ain't got to go out there with a gun, ready to kill some kid. That's what children do, they play. If their yard ain't big enough, surely they're going to come over in yours. But are we that cold to where we don't like to see children play? This is what the Bible tells me and you to do. Isaiah 55:6. I'm not going to be up here long. It's pretty self-explanatory. You cannot make a decision today and not consider the decisions that are already made. You have to take into consideration certain decisions that have already been made before you make your decision. The Bible says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Isaiah 55:6. Call ye upon him while he is near. And it tell me and you to do something. Now, I know you don't want to believe that you're wicked, but you see that every day. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. I know people think they're right, but the Bible says you're unrighteous, and you shouldn't think that way. And let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. And God says in verse number 8, he said, you know my thoughts are not your thoughts, which means somebody don't know how to think right. Neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. He said, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So when God made these decisions, it wasn't because he's thinking like me and you. They were so much higher than me and you. He know you just can't grind on for 24 hours a day, so he gave you day and night. Oh, come on. You got to rest is what he's trying to tell you. I think one of the reasons we don't accept this is because we get educated. You know what happens when we get educated. I have a problem with this. I don't like what he said. Is it going to change what's been decided? No. But see, I don't think a man ought to be married. So, you just live how? I mean, you're not the one who said it wasn't good that man should be alone. Oh, you got your homies. And that's what you call having. Okay. So, some of you all, you think that another man is sufficient for companionship. Just like some of you all who think another woman is sufficient for companionship. If God thought another man would be sufficient for companionship, he would not have made Eve, he would have made another man. That was decided long ago. Are y'all listening? The Bible is full of things we should not eat. Now, I know Tony and them, y'all just love these seafood platters. You mean that seafood platter, I want 50 crabs and all the oysters and lobsters I can eat. And you go down there and goiter start growing on your neck and all this. Because God told y'all, see, some things were created for a purpose. It wasn't for consumption. Oh, yeah. That creature got a purpose. And I don't think it was for consumption. Just like that vulture do. That possum do. They all got a, but see, some folks are eating the possum though. I can't picture how. That's nasty. And then years later, after eating all this food that God didn't recommend, well, you know the doctor say they're going to have to cut this off. They got to go in and take this tumor out of me. And you wonder why your body's responding that way. It's trying to tell you God gave you a diet. Why would God spend all this time giving us a diet if it's not important? Y'all can't just eat anything and live. And all y'all drinking, he tell y'all don't tarry long at that. And long don't mean a couple hours. Some of y'all have got 40 years at it. Don't you think it's time to let it go? You've been slurping for 40 years. You've been falling down for 30. You don't even stand up anymore. You just drinking and sitting and drinking now. You can't even stand no more. And where you think that's going? And then there are those who just making things, making moves. You running here, running there. You on a plane this weekend, you're driving. We driving 500 miles over here. We on this, we doing this and this. And what y'all running to? What are you running to? The grave? That's all y'all running to. My uncle used to say that to us when we were young. He said, slow down, don't be in a hurry. Stop all that running. He said, you ain't doing nothing but running to the grave. I finally realized the wisdom in that. Y'all just running to the grave. And it's a blessing if a stroke or something stopped you. At least you still got a hope. That's what it takes to stop some of y'all, stroke or a heart attack. Because you out here trying to change this world. If God thought me and you need to change this world, he would have gave us the tools to do it. He's trying to tell you all we're going to do is keep coming and going, and this earth going to remain. Are y'all still listening? Go with me to Psalms 23 and 7. Psalms chapter 23, verse number 7. It says this. This is what happened when we think. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. You think you're a businessman. You think you're a thug. You think you're a gangster. Psalms 23 and 7 says, that's how you think in your heart. Excuse me, not Psalm, Proverbs. I'm sorry, forgive me. My media minister just corrected me. I thought it was Psalm, but it's Proverbs. Proverbs 23 and 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. That's the Bible say heart here is a reference to self, flesh. That's what our flesh should tell us. Your flesh will tell you this person and that person. Your flesh will tell you, boy, can't nobody outdrink you. You can drink everybody under the table. Your flesh will tell you, man, can't nobody outsmoke you. You can smoke them jokers. And some of y'all, that's what you do every week. You prove to people how much dope you can smoke, how much liquor you can drink. And that's living. Some of y'all young men just got to prove to the other guys how many women you can chase. Oh, come on. That's living. And some of y'all just go home and cook all this killer food. You got to prove to the rest of the community how good you can cook. And everything you cook is killing folk. All that sugar, oil, grease. I used to think that soul food was good. And then you get the nutritional value of most of it, and you find out it has none. As a matter of fact, it's loaded with cholesterol, sugar, and then here come diabetes behind it. I mean, back in the day, man, if you put some smothered pork chops over some rice with some cabbage and all that, I would tear it up. I mean, really. Not knowing the pork is forbidden. The cabbage and the greens thicken your blood. And all that sugar lead to diabetes, pancreatic cancer. And we died and don't know why we died. But for a moment, you were living good. Your mind told you, oh, you living, man. You got it going on. You know how to eat. And you ate all that foolishness. And now they cutting body parts off to keep your circulation going. Because you just didn't understand. Don't the Bible say out of all that get and get under? And you rarely see women today educate their children on why they prepare certain foods and how it's prepared and what is the nutritional value of this. Nobody talks about that. Yo, you better try this peach cobbler. It's the best I ever had. And you take one spoonful of it and all of a sudden your blood pressure go up. You got folks that know they're not supposed to be eating certain things because, diabetes has already showed up to indicate that you've been eating wrong in the first place. And they tell you can live a little longer if you'll correct that. Correct the way you eat. And some will tell you, now leave me alone. You shouldn't argue with people who know they're diabetic and eat certain things. They look at them and say, well, how much of that insurance we put on you? We probably need to increase that. I see you're going to go in a lot sooner than I thought. You keep eating like that, that's why you're in the condition you're in right now. Now, the gorilla don't have high blood pressure. Neither do the polar bear or you know what I'm saying? And he don't eat nothing but leaves. I ain't never heard him say that gorilla had a stroke up there in that cage. I know y'all don't want to believe that, but think about what he eats. He eat nothing but leaves. The panda bear, he don't eat nothing but bamboo leaves. You talking about some big, strong animals that'll crush your head with their hands. How did he get that strong for just eating leaves? Maybe he understands that his life is in God's hand. After all, God said we don't live by bread alone, neither do he. He don't even eat bread. He's still alive. God done decided he's going to be that big, strong gorilla. And he ain't out there, let's see, to keep my health up, I got to eat this. Bring me that sweet potato pie. You don't see a gorilla eating a sweet potato pie. You don't see him out there drinking gallons of lemonade and Kool-Aid. And he's still alive. You don't see piles of rice and gravy in front of him. He said they're pulling leaves off a branch, throwing them out there, throwing the stem away. And you wonder, how did he get that big from just eating leaves? That's the wisdom of God right in front of you. You don't have to eat like a pig to survive. Are y'all listening? That's what you think in your heart, though. That's what you've been told. 3 meals a day. I went to the Middle East, and them people eat 1 meal a day. From 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, they'll put roast fish, goat meat, they'll put out watermelon, they'll put cucumber, they'll put all kinds of stuff out there in front of you. You can eat all you want. 2 o'clock come, they rolling all that up. That ain't gonna happen again till the next day. I don't know, and listen, they healthy, they're not overweight. I don't know where we get this eating 3 meals a day thing from. And I've been doing that same thing, eating 1 meal a day for the last 20-some years, and I've not lost a pound. Now, I don't know where them other 2 meals y'all putting in y'allself go. I'm eating one a day. I'm telling you the facts. I eat 1 meal a day. Have been for the last 20-some years since I've been up here, since I left the Middle East. And I've not lost a pound. Excess have to go somewhere. And if it don't go somewhere, it'll become a tumor inside of you. You cannot put too much in the processing plant. It'll clog it up. Lord, I know they don't want to believe that. Now, some of you all going to make your decision, and you don't care what God say. I'm going to practice this idolatry because it's going to get me ahead. And then the devil tell you, and when you get through practicing that idolatry, go on to church anyway. You can serve God too. The Bible says this in James chapter 1, verse number 8. Let me make sure I'm on the right, but you know, these days. James 1 and 8. It says, a double-minded man is sure where he going. No, he's sure where he going. He think he can do this and serve God too. They think they can live like this and serve God too. And you know what their justification for it is? God love, he come at you. God love all of us. That's their justification. God love all of us. Stop preaching hate. The Bible do say there's something that God hates. But you can't tell people that. And that double-minded man who think he can do all these things, bow to these things, pledge his allegiance to that, swear to this, live like that, promote this. You rarely see people promote Christ. But you all are promote these idol gods. You wear their clothing, you put stickers on your car, you go get stuff and put it in your head, you wear glasses and y'all got so many ways to promote idolatry. 1,000 ways you promote idolatry. And you want folks to know that you're a part of these things. But you're a secret Christian. Yeah, you saved in secret. Are you listening? Decisions. Some decisions have already been made. There ain't no other way to be righteous except in Jesus Christ. There's no other way to be saved except giving your life to Jesus Christ. There's no other way to come to God except coming to Jesus Christ. Those decisions have already been made. Anything else you decide that you think is acceptable to God, you better think again. Well, y'all just coming up with so many ways to serve God. When that way has already been decided. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He said, you can't come to the Father except you come by me. That's been decided. Now you can join all these other cults you want to. You can stomp the yard, roll over the grass, jump up and do backflips and all this other stuff. It ain't gonna get you no closer to God. Now, I know some of y'all, you can go in there and join this moose club and that club and join this brotherhood and that brotherhood. Let me tell you something. It ain't going to get you no closer to God. Just read the Bible. It tells you that. I think one of the things that is misunderstood in the Bible is Amos 3:3. Can two walk together except they agree? Let me transliterate that. Can two travel together except they agree on which direction to go? Some of you all are trying to walk with God. But which direction are you going? Some of you all declare that you all are, I'm already, you in God's perfect will. You waiting on servant well done. But which direction are you going? Everybody wants to believe that you and God are like this. But your decisions say you're not. I have to explain to our church why we're not going to bring dead bodies up into this holy place. It's unacceptable. COVID just told us how to dispose of dead people. You're going out to the graveside, do them a service, and go home. You have never, ever seen a man of God perform a funeral. Here's a shocker. You've never seen a man of God perform a wedding. Jesus attended a wedding. He didn't perform one. And I think everything in the Bible disagrees with bringing a dead body into the holy place. As a matter of fact, in the priesthood, a priest wasn't even supposed to enter into a room with a dead body without going through a ceremonial cleansing. And nobody can tell me where did that start. Me and my apostle both searched that out for months, and we still can't tell y'all where that started. I got a pretty good idea, but there's nothing written down that says do this. You shouldn't bring a dead body into the same place you serve God. It's sacrilegious. Are y'all listening? Are you listening? Yes. I'm going to read this and we're going to close. I'm 45 minutes today, but hey, we do the best we can to close out in 35 minutes. Psalms 23:3 says this. You're going to need this, and this is what Jesus Christ gives us. You're going to need this, And this is what Jesus Christ gives us. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in a path of righteousness. And it's not because we're this important person or whatever. To God we are. But notice what it says. It's for his name's sake. All of us going to need that. But he cannot lead you in a path of righteousness if you make all the wrong decisions, if you're making your own decisions. The steps of a good man are truly ordered by God. The decisions a person make when they really want to do good is already given to you of God. You can't change where that sun rises and where it sets. You cannot move night and day. You cannot change male and female. Oh, come on. And I don't care how rich you are, you're going to have to eat and drink if you truly want to live. And God try to tell you, you might want to be happy with that. And I know a lot of you all, you just pressure. These young people under pressure to succeed in life. And what is success? Killing yourself? They got food, they got something to drink, they got a roof over their head, they got clothes on their back, they got something to drive in. Be content and live a godly life. You know, if you have discussions like, baby, why do you need a gun? Well, see, I don't want to. See, you got to have them kind of discussion and get rid of these unclean things. Why do you have Chevy's Regal and Hennessy in the bar? What do you need it for? Why must you have 3 jobs? Why must you be constantly grinding? Have y'all never asked yourself them questions? We're streaming a lot longer today than I had planned to. But this is important. Don't allow yourself to make a decision trying to overturn one that God has already decided. You shouldn't even think that way. These decisions that we're making today, that we expect the Supreme Court, because y'all trying to confuse rights with righteousness. I don't care how many rights the Supreme Court give you all, it is not righteousness. There is a difference. And those decisions y'all expect those people to make, well, they've already been made. That's what the confusion is. You all want them to overturn the decision that's already been made. I'm closing that. And that's where the confusion come in. Because they cannot. Oh, by the way, God mock us by saying, if you truly have power. See, y'all think these people have the power. They give me and you the right because they have the power. God said, if you truly have power, he's being sarcastic. He said, this is a small task for me. But let me see if you can do this. He said, just take day and put it where night belongs. And take night and put it where day belongs. And if you cannot do that, you don't have the power to overturn certain decisions that have already been made. Concerning me and you too. God decided male and female. Oh, y'all can add all the alphabets, L, G, B, whatever you want to add. It ain't gonna change what God decided. Are y'all still here? And y'all with these jewel for children. I don't do this with my child. The Bible says you can spare the rod, but it'll just spoil the child. And I'm not talking about a physical rod. You got to teach him righteousness. You can't sit there and fill your child's head with foolishness. God said you need to train him up in the way he should go. That's not changed. That's already been decided. You all are trying to change things that cannot be changed. And I don't care how many make that decision with you. Wrong, long on the throne. Still wrong. Now I know, I mean, you're talking to a guy who had to go through this too. But if you understand anything and you're truly wise about God, that's what this whole Bible is trying to tell me and you. There's consequences to every one of these decisions we make. And that's what the Bible is full of. Consequences. If you know how that thing ends, I wouldn't make that decision in the first place. Are you listening? Are you truly listening? If you know how that's going to end, it may change the decision you make. Now, I know some of you all think, we don't believe in marriage. We just partners. And partners is not a good thing. The Bible says, whosoever findeth a wife, findeth a good thing and obtain. And when you and your partner start having problems, don't expect God to resolve it. That's what you decided. Are you listening? I don't see nowhere in the Bible where God say, and whoever find a partner, findeth a good thing and obtain favor with God. Don't try to substitute that word wife with partner. And I know y'all like to say stuff like, we're 50-50 in this relationship. If you truly are 50-50, there's something wrong. Don't stop at 50-50. It should be 100%. We 100% in agreement in this relationship. That sounds wise what y'all are saying, but it's not. God said you're not two people anymore, you're one. You're still implying that y'all are two people. 50 and 50 is two. But if you're married, 100%. I know. Y'all say a lot of things that sound wise to you. I'm going to get mine. And when did you create anything? And what did you create? You came in the world holding $50 bills in your hand? Have y'all not read the story of the goose who laid the golden egg? So when your mama had you, you was already laced with gold. But you got to get yours now. By any means necessary. And these are the kind of stupid slogans y'all are using today. Really? Give it up. It's crazy. I grew up a country boy out here in South Albany on a farm. And my father never really went to school, so he wasn't an educated man. And my father realized, being an uneducated man, that you don't need welfare if you can grow your own food. You don't need to spend 30 years paying for a house if you can build one yourself. Are you listening? So he had two occupations, construction and farming. I don't care how much money you make, you got to eat. And I don't care how important you are, you need somewhere to live. So my father had them two nailed down and raised 15 kids with that mentality. Raised 15 kids and took care of a wife. 14 kids and took care of a wife. 15 of us. No education. Just understanding them simple things. I remember him and my uncle was arguing about, my uncle said, you got all the kids, you know you can get welfare, and it was an insult to my dad. My dad got upset. He said, well, you act like I can't raise my own kids. Today y'all lie to get welfare. This uneducated man thought welfare was an insult. Y'all think y'all beating the system. Why would my father think something is wrong with that? The very thing that y'all so easily go get today. He wanted him to know that he was capable of raising his kids without the help of the federal government. And he had a phrase which y'all use today: all our help. My dad obviously believed that. Y'all don't today. All y'all help come from corporations and the government. Are you listening? I'm finished. I hope y'all will tune in again next week. You don't like what's said, turn it off if you want. Switch it off, it'll go away. I know you just don't want to hear it. The Bible said there was going to be a time when you all are not going to endure Somebody telling y'all the truth. And I hope that time is not already here. Are you listening? So we'll see you guys on next week on the live stream. For those in the sanctuary, come on, stand to your feet. Give the Lord a hand clap of praise if you're truly going to praise him.